Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for joining me, Lawana Hodges, YBC Youth Building Conversation. This evening, I am talking to Tyra Sutton. Y'all, let me tell you something. I had to switch the way my desk was. So I'm sitting in front of my desk because the sun is so bright, as you can see behind me. So just ignore all the shoes behind me and all the brightness while we sit here and talk to the lovely Tyra Sutton. How are you doing this evening?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
I am great. I am great. I am great. So I happen to know this young lady because we work out together in the morning, 5 a.m. at Abundant Fitness with
Mm-hmm.
Christian. So that's how I know this young lady. So thank you for coming on, sitting and chatting with me and just talking about everything you got going on. As you can see, her face is beat to the gods. Okay. Face looking lovely as always.
Thank you.
But before we get started, can you open us up in a word of prayer?
Sure. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for bringing us together to this live stream. We want to pray for Lou, our lovely host here, and give her the strength and willpower to get through this interview and ask the questions that she needs to ask, and for myself to answer the questions in a way that will hopefully inspire and uplift people. I pray that this message is received to everyone watching this stream. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen, amen, amen. So I always want to start. Who is Tyra Sutton?
Who is Tyra Sutton? Okay. Well, that's always like a hard question for me, but I want to say that Tyra Sutton is a compassionate and caring individual. Tyra Sutton is the leader, a creative visionary, and overall just a light in the world. Not to toot my own horn, but
Okay, okay, okay. Well, he said to be a light and a salt of the world. So, hey,
yeah.
at least you know who you are. So, how was the impact? How was you impacted in the last couple of years during the pandemic?
Um, I feel like I was one of the fortunate people. It was definitely scary because during the pandemic, we didn't know, okay, everything that's in person, will we be able to work? For me, working at a church, it's like everything is based on giving and attendance. So it's like, if we can't get that participation, how is that going to look? I think that overall, the pandemic just was a display of adaptability. And I think it's just for everyone, even myself, just showing, okay, now that we're not coming into the office every day, how does working from home look? That was my first time working remote. So then it went from remote to eventually hybrid work when we opened up. But I feel like just even getting that taste of remote work gave me that kind of drive and even self discipline, so that now that I'm fully remote, I know how to get to my tasks, and I don't, necessarily have to go in the building to just get in work mode. So definitely didn't go too bad for me compared to a lot of people that I saw that was, negatively impacted during the pandemic.
Okay. So where are you from? Where are you from?
I am from Prince George's County, so Forestville, Maryland, but I was born in DC. But yeah, DMV girl, PG County. So I'm right here.
Okay, okay. And what college did you attend?
Yeah, so I attended Prince George's Community College. I finished my associate's degree there, got an associate's degree in general study, and then I moved on to University of Maryland Global Campus and went to school online to finish my bachelor's. And then I went back again to do 2 more years. Well, actually, about a year and some change for a certification in HR management.
Okay, okay. So before the pandemic, it seemed like you was already disciplined. Cause whenever you can do online classes, you have discipline.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I'll say this for me. if it's something that I want, I know how to lock in and get focused. I can say that I probably stayed in community college longer than I should have, just because I'm like, okay, I'm in college and I'm working, and now I'm working and kind of moving up in the ranks. So I'm like, oh, this is I'm getting into a career rhythm, but I'm like, you have to focus on school. So that took longer. But once I was like, okay, I need to get back in it and get these 2 classes done, I was like laser focused. And I was like, I'm at the age where I don't have time to be looking for a school to go to. I'm gonna go online, I can work, and it's gonna offer me the flexibility. And also by UMGC being online, it's accelerated too. So instead of taking a 16-week course, all the courses are 8 weeks. So I can take more classes in a semester and get my degree done a lot quicker than I would have if I went to a traditional university. So it took a lot of it. Yeah, maybe I did have the discipline. It took a lot of discipline. It was not easy, but I felt like once I got in it and I got focused, it was a breeze.
I was getting ready. I was gonna ask you how beneficial was it starting at a community college, then switching over to continue your bachelor's degree.
Um, Definitely saving money. My parents were like a lot of other parents. We didn't have a college savings, but definitely saving money, especially if you're in a place where you're not sure of what you want to do. You're still like, I'm trying to figure it out. So it's no shame in going to a community college, going general studies, or even if you're going to a major, taking classes that interest you. Like, let me just see what this is about, see if this is something I'm interested in, knocking out those basic requirements, and then transitioning if you need to. I think that's a good thing about community college. Also, I think for me, I met a lot of unique people just within the DMV, and it's like you get this networking, but it's at home. So, I mean, it's fine to go away to college and meet people that you'll use later in life, but a lot of these people, they live down the street, they work locally. So, I've been able to draw from those resources, and they were right home. And another thing I think that I have seen the benefit in, I was in community college, but I was also working. A lot of my peers that I've known, they went to 4 year university, and they didn't necessarily have a job. They focused on school, which has its benefits because you can focus. But I was doing both. So I had the work experience. I knew how to work. I knew how to manage. I just had a lot of time under my belt in the professional world that a lot of people at universities didn't have starting out. So it's in the beginning, I used to be a little sad because I'm like, I want to go to the schools, I want to have homecoming, and I want to pledge and all of those things. But in hindsight, I'm like, I don't think I missed out on much because I was able to stay focused. And also, when it was time for me to transition in my career, I was already ahead. I already had those years of experience on my resume, and it wasn't like I was necessarily starting at entry level. So that was
Right.
definitely a benefit for me.
Right. That makes sense. My son, he did the same thing. He just got his associates. He graduated in May 18th. Yeah, Trey. From
Ooh,
Prince George Community College, which is actually a great school. PG
mm-hmm.
Community College is a great school. And then he's transitioning over into Bowie. So,
Yes.
and like you said, and then we have one that a daughter that go to Morgan State. So it kind of helped us out far as financially because with the college, one in full 4 year
Mm-hmm.
and one in 2 year kind of balanced out. But he's in ahead of the game because he already got his associates and he works too. So he's kind of
Yeah.
ahead of the game than I want to say probably his sister is, you know. So
Yes.
so that's so that's great. That's great. So what was your majors again in college? What did you end up finishing with?
Yes. So when I went to PG, I actually started off in journalism. That's what I thought I wanted to do. Um, But then I transitioned and just did general studies. I was like, that'll give me a chance to just figure out what I want to do, decide what I want to do. And I was like, if I do general studies, I know for a fact that when I transfer my credits, it'll all go. I don't have to worry about, oh, well, this class doesn't fit and things like that. Um, so general studies. And then when I went to I major in humanities. Crazy enough, when I looked at the list at the time, they didn't have a lot of options outside of like a lot of cyber and things like that. And so I was like, what's something I am comfortable doing, something that'll, in a sense, be easy for me, and something I'm interested in. And humanities checked all the boxes because I have like a background in performing arts and being creative. So I say this is perfect. And then once I got into working and I transitioned in my role at the church to a more HR based role, I was like, you know what? I've been doing this type of job for years now. And eventually I do want to transition so I could have these, benefits and all the perks and make all the money. So I was like, you know what? Let me look at HR. And the program was not long. And I started in January, finished in December. And that was like the fuel for my transition with the government. I was in my position in the government like less than 6 months later. So I had a
Wow.
goal, I stuck to it, and here's where I am.
Wow, wow, wow. So what is actually your title and what do you do in the government?
I am an HR specialist, a human resources specialist, and I work in recruitment and placement. So I have to be specific because HR does get a bad rap. They're like, I don't want HR, you're HR, like, oh my gosh. But it's so many departments in HR. No, I'm not dealing with complaints and grievances. I don't want to talk to them either. So I am the person you want to talk to when you want to get a job, when you want to get transitioned into the company. That's what I do. I do the good stuff.
Okay, okay. So do you think you talked a little bit about your personality? So do you think what you're doing now is catering to your profession? Along, put it this way, is your profession matching your personality? Because you have such a vibrant and big personality. So is your current uh, professional job match your personality?
I think so. I definitely think so. Oddly enough, I wasn't always necessarily what somebody would look at as outgoing. I was kind of shy, but I like helping people and I like being of service to others. And I think that's the benefit for me because it gives me that sense of fulfillment. But I also like just helping people. Like people are trying to figure out what documents they need or just being that introduction in a company to a friendly face where your first interaction with the company is a pleasant one. It's one that is meaningful. You know that I care about you. You know that I'm taking the time. So I definitely think that plays a role into it. I treat every new employee and even we call the managers, like our customers, I treat them like my baby. Like, you guys are special. Like, I have to take care of you. I don't want to mess anything up. So I definitely am always willing to go above and beyond. And I think that attitude is beneficial to me and even like the customer service that I deliver and my overall interactions with everybody. Like, I hear about other people and they're like, yeah, I talk to this person and they're not nice. And I'm like, really? Like, I've never had a problem with them, but it's just, I have the personality. I can adapt. I don't, I worked in customer service for years. So I really just have dealt with all types of people, people that aren't difficult. So I don't, nothing really phases me. So I'm always prepared and I'm always willing to give that excellent customer service, even if somebody else is not as friendly on the other end. So yeah.
That's good. The strangest thing is I'm in HR, and it's but my main role is finance. And you like to help, you like to service your coworkers, you like to make sure your coworkers are good.
Mm-hmm.
You like to make sure everything is fair for them and they getting the best and they doing okay. And so yeah, so I get what you're saying. I really get it. Even though my nick is more finance than really HR,
Yeah.
but I do like making sure that my coworkers are doing well. They okay mentally because it's so much stuff that goes on in this world today that you
Absolutely.
want to make sure that everybody mental space is good as well as they're trying to grow in their professional. So, do you
Mhm.
think your current profession, do you think it's a passion, a purpose, or maybe both?
I would say both. I would say both. I think for a long time, I just like
You coming in and out, Tyra. You coming in and out. Okay. Now it's better.
Okay.
You was
Okay.
frozen for a minute. You was frozen for a minute.
Right now, I've always been in an office setting, and this is going to be probably a weird thing for a kid, but when I was a kid, I loved playing with office supplies. Like Staples was like it was like heaven for me. Like, oh my gosh, anytime I can go to the supplies closet, I'm notepads and staplers, and that was my thing. So I should have been in the office all along. Um, so it made sense for me, and I think I think that because I've worked in a few realms of HR, like I've done the finance, even still do the finance. It's numbers, I just get tired of it. Like I can do it, but it's a lot. I like to talk to people. I want to talk. I want to, you know, be the plug for like
Yeah.
I want to be that person that is like, okay, well, I'm the inside person. I can help you. Yeah, I think it's definitely a passion, and I can say over the past I'll be there in a year in May. I haven't had a day where I woke up and felt like I hate it here. Every day I'm excited for work. I'm passionate about it. Yes, I get frustrated at certain tasks, but overall, like I thoroughly enjoy what I do. Like I feel like I have a purpose. I feel important, and I feel like I'm making an impact. And that's honestly all I've been waiting to do all my life. So it feels good to be here.
Wow. That's great. That's awesome. So let's talk about self care.
Mm.
What does self care look like to you?
Sounds
Because let me tell you something. I
yeah.
know for myself, when I'm being an HR representative,
Mhm.
and I'm kind of like a one person show. So it's
Mm,
like I do a lot of things. Complaints is one. So it's like, I have to do self care because if not, it could get overwhelming at times. Not
yep.
all the time because we're a small staff, but sometimes it can get overwhelming. So I have to make sure that I have self care
Mhm.
in place, for me to take care of myself, my soul, my spirit, my mind, my mood, all of those things to gear me up to be ready and in the place that I can service others. So what does your self-care look like?
Self-care for me has always been a struggle because I tend to put the needs of others before my own, just being a service-based person. But for me, it's disconnecting. It is putting the phone down. I'm not taking calls, do not disturb, and just tending to myself. For me, it's being okay with sitting and not feeling guilty about it. And so it's hard for me. I don't like to have to do it because I have to recharge. So it
You're coming in and out again.
okay.
Yeah, you frozen.
Yes.
Okay, now you back.
Very. Okay.
It was coming in and out.
I'm like looking. Okay. Bath time is like a big thing for me. So I love bath bombs and things like that. So I make a whole like bath just day. It's a whole spa day in the house. Like it's a big deal. Even having my like nail lady on speed dial. Like she'll, if I haven't come in a while, she'll text me like, "Hey, what's going on?" And she knows, like she prepares for me in advance. Like my station is ready. I definitely try to just take the time out for myself and try not to penny pinch when it comes to me and my self-care. Like I'm like, you'll pay to do these things for other people or their celebration or this. You can go into a spa. You can go and get a massage. Like book last minute. Just do it for you because you deserve it and you don't need a reason. It's you. That is the reason. So that's something I had to definitely make a priority that wasn't always a priority.
That's good. So when I look at you, I see a confident woman in her own skin. Your face is always beat to God. I'm telling you, y'all, her face, look at always. I have not seen her face undone, even when we work out. Even when we work out, okay?
Oh, stop.
It's that glow. Have you always been that person, that confident woman? You know, that is just confident in in your own skin. Girl, you frozen again, Tyra. No, you're still kind of. Now I can't hear you at all. It looked like we both frozen. Oh, okay. Okay, well, she'll be back. I don't know if she's having some computer issues. But hey, y'all. Thank you, Cookie, for watching. I see you. I see you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Cookie Graves, Talfair Graves will be on next week to talk about her book, When Did You Know It Was God? And I have been reading and I'm almost done. And it is amazing. So stay tuned next week for Talfair Graves, who always supports me and watch my interviews for next week. As we wait, Tyra should be coming back on. Up, here she go. Here she go. Here she go. Okay, good.
Yes, I had to switch to the phone. That was crazy. Of course, when you're trying to do something. Okay. Confidence? No. No, I have not always been a confident person. I feel like I was a person, I knew how to put the mask on and just appear to be confident. But I'm just gonna say it was definitely just therapy. Therapy helped a lot. It was just that time to discover myself and figure out just why I couldn't be this person, and also unpack some stuff in my past, which I think everybody should do. But yeah, it took a while to get here. I think it took a while for me to get to the point where literally like what you see is what you get. I'm not putting on a mask. There is no mask. This is who I am. And so yeah, no, it took a while. It took some hard work, some tears, but I'm here now.
Well, right. Looking at you, like I said, you would never tell that you wasn't ever confident, because when you walk in the room, yes, I'm here, boo. Yeah, look at me. I'm good. And I'm like, okay, Tyra, I see you. I see you. So great. So who shaped your life? Who is your mentor? Who would you call your mentor if you had one?
Oh wow. I don't feel like I can give that credit to any one person. I feel like there are several people that influence that. I'll do family and two work people. So one person is my older brother. One of my older brothers. We kind of did. I I kind of followed his path. I went to PG, he went to PG. He worked at Burlington, I worked at Burlington. He went to University of Maryland, I did too, just online. So I kind of followed behind him because I hate to say it, but he was like the guinea pig for it. He was like, okay, I did it, I made the mistakes. And he was always so open and transparent when it comes to, okay, I did this, it didn't go right, I will recommend this. Or when get your job and they have retirement, you need to put this much in. Like, he's just very much like, this is the things that you should do because I made the mistake so you don't have to. So that's definitely one person that I look up to and depend on. And yeah, like that's my rock. Another person would be Miss Lil Roberts, and I need to send her this link. We worked at the church together. She's known me since before I was born, but when she was one of those people who gave me the push I needed. She always had confidence in me, where it's like, maybe I would look at a project and I'm like, I don't really know. She's like, oh no, Tyra, she's the bee's knees. And I'm like, stop telling people that, because you don't want to mess up. You don't want to have the pressure. But she always gave me that push and was always a resource. Like, call me whenever, even to this day, call me whenever you need. I'll do anything for her to this day. But she, even just transitioning from administrative assistant into the HR role, she's like, you can do it. She's like, you've looked over my shoulder and told me how to do my job. So I know you can do it. I know you'll be successful. So definitely having somebody in your ear to just give you a reminder that you're capable is so important and so necessary. Yeah. Somebody else that has been an influence is Miss Ezell. So I met her at Burlington, Miss Ezell Battle, and it was just like an instant click. And she was just one of those people like, girl, you're too good for this store. You need to get out of here. You offer so much more than what they can give you, and your potential exceeds this place. And I can see you doing so much more. So she was pushing me, girl, finish that degree. Stop playing. I'm like, okay. And she would, again, always be a push and always be a person like, well, I did this and this was the outcome. I recommend this. Always giving me a recommendation, always plugging me in, literally being a second mom to me. It just a super support at all times. And she was also the person that plugged me into, sorry about that.
Tyra, where did you go? You muted yourself. You muted. You are
Just so many noises and distractions. Shakima Cowens, I'm sorry. Miss Ezell plugged me into her because Shakima actually assisted me in the federal government process and getting a job and navigating it. She sat with me to apply for jobs and even did mock interviews. Okay, like, this is what you're going to expect. And
wow,
I've definitely had like some great people in my corner just throughout this process. And I'm so grateful for like everybody that I've encountered throughout my journey, because they've been such an asset to me.
Yeah, that's good. So what have been some of your biggest obstacles you face being a career-driven woman?
For me, I think that it's a mix of two things. I'm very hard on myself. I'm very self-critical. And also I can be a workaholic. So I feel like I don't always give myself the grace that I need. Like, it's okay to make mistakes. Everybody else makes mistakes. And just being a workaholic, like learning to unplug, that's very hard for me. It's always been hard for me. I am susceptible to burnout because I just work so hard. I'm like, I'm going to do the overtime. I'm going to do these things, but learning that work will be here tomorrow. And even if the building is burning down, I don't have a fireman's hat. I can't do anything about it. I just can't. So just being okay with things being okay, and everything doesn't have to be 110%, because, and not in the sense that everybody else isn't giving, 100%, but make your week add up to 100%. So if 10% is Monday, then that's fine. And it could be 80% on Thursday and 10% the other days, but give your best for that day. So yeah, I am my own obstacle in this my career
Okay.
journey. Hmm.
Okay. You stand in your own way. So what have been
Yep.
some of your biggest achievements in your life, in your career?
Life and career. So life, I would say for me, um, for example, I guess just I can think back to maybe like Burlington, my time at Burlington, moving up really quickly. I went as like a seasonal employee, and not even in a year, I was a customer service supervisor. Then I'm the key holder, and I just moved up until I was pretty much doing everything. So I was moving up at a very young age. I think I was a supervisor. I was 19, 18. I was very young. So I I guess I could just attribute that to my work ethic and personality and leadership skills. Also, just I would say completing online school. And I say that because it the level of discipline that it took shocked even myself. At times it was like I can think about the days I am working, I'm doing papers, I am tired, but I'm like, of course, I'm gonna wait to the last minute for this paper, and I'm doing a 10-page paper overnight. And it's been so much, but I was so focused on I'm going to make sure that I excel. So like PG, I graduated with honors. Then I graduated cum laude for my bachelor's, and then I went up when I got my certification. I got all A's. I got a 4.0. So I was always just trying to beat myself out. Like, if you can do this, you can do better. And I feel like that was an achievement for me because life doesn't stop. I'm working full time at all of these times. It's been times where I've had two jobs.
Wow.
Um, and going to school full time and showing up for family and showing up for friends and doing all of the things. But I I'm a master juggler, and I was determined to do something for myself. So that was a big accomplishment for me.
Okay. So what makes Tyra Sutton career driven, and did it come with a cost?
I would say that I'm actually going to credit the church for that, and just my upbringing of being in the church a lot. Again, it just goes to being a service driven person. When you're in church, you're ushering, you're singing, you're community outreach. It's just all of the things. And that's always how I have been, just kind of volunteer, be a part. And so that just carried on through my adult life. Again, kind of piggybacking off of what I said a little bit earlier, the cost may be self-care, or prioritizing myself and understanding rest. At times the cost was my health, because I didn't understand the value in delegating and allowing others to do. Like, you don't always have to have your hands in the pot. Sometimes you have to step back and allow other people to take a stab at it and do it. And if it's not up to your standards, that's fine. It got done. And sometimes that this just has to be okay. So yeah, definitely just my health and well-being was the cost of it, because I put that on the bottom of the list when it came to everything that I needed to do, which it should have always been at the top.
Okay. That's why I asked that question because so what so you always mention in your bio creative, creative, creative. So what is
Hmm.
your creative side?
Okay, so quick backstory. I went to a school called Thomas G. Pullen, and I always have to shout them out because it's in Landover. Like, this was the school. I don't care what nobody say. It was the school. It was a magnet school, a performing arts, a focus school, the whole shebang. So from kindergarten, I was exposed to the arts, violin, dance, music, drama, media, you name it, we did it. We've gone on Broadway and did workshops with Broadway stars and had celebrities come in and do, like, we were performers. Like, when we had dance performances, we all week, Monday through Friday, we were performing 2 and 3 shows a day. Like, we were ready for Broadway. So I've always had that creative side because that's been my background. And another thing, and I think I told my mom this, I have to give her credit too. My mom used to teach, was it pre-K? She was a teacher's aide for pre-K, and she always had crafts. In the summertime, a lot of times, like the whole neighborhood, the whole court is on the porch putting together puppets. Like, I'm talking puppets got real hair, eyelashes, clothes. Like, we're literally putting together these things. So when it came to any kind of creative venture, my mom is like, we're going all out. You need a diorama, we're making clay figures, we're sculpting faces. It's a thing. So I always just had that passion, and I always have to get it out. I can see something and I have to get it out. So for me, that's writing stories, songs, poetry, makeup. For me, like Halloween, I'm like, okay, what am I going to be? Like, I got to make this a thing. Now I'm Picasso, even just regular painting, decorating for somebody's birthday party. It's something where I'm never looking for it to be a um I don't want to say, I'm okay
Income.
with, yeah. Like, it would be nice to be income, but for me, I don't want to lose my passion because I'm chasing a dollar. I want this I to wake up and say, this is what I want to do, and I go out and create this, not just because I'm like, well, I got a customer. No, because for me, that's going to take away that drive and that passion. So yeah, anything crafty. I'm in Hobby Lobby and Michael's and just buying it. I have just so much random stuff because I'm like, okay, I need to make jewelry and I need to do this. So it's nothing that I can't do, even if it's like for work. Okay, we need a flyer, we need a PowerPoint. Like, don't worry about it. I got it. Like, if it comes to anything creative, I'm going to come and I'm going to outdo everyone, and I'm doing that on purpose. Like, I know I'm coming to outdo everybody. So
Okay. So what is next for Tyra? What is next for you?
you know what? I haven't quite decided that yet. I was trying to give myself a year in federal service to kind of figure out how or if I want to pivot. I definitely know that HR is my jam, and the staffing side is definitely where I need to be. So I think that I'll give myself a few months, and when I get to kind of that mark, I'll look at some options and kind of make a decision on where I want to go with my HR career. I think I'll pretty much stick with the federal government. It's so many benefits, and it's no reason not to stick there. Like, I hate to say it, but the job market is very spotty right now, and I'm like, I don't have to worry about that because I'm good right now. So that definitely feels good. But I'll say maybe in about 3 to 5 years, I want to kind of get back to my creative side. I want to incorporate my abilities and passion for HR and the performing arts and humanities. And I have a plan. I don't want to reveal it yet. I want to kind of keep that close, but I definitely want to incorporate that in a space to help the youth in the community, and also kind of draw in a few of my friends that are in the arts and work there and give them an opportunity to give back as well. So have
Okay.
something in the works, but we're gonna get there.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Mhm.
anything you need help with, just let me know. Platform is
Yes.
You can always use the platform. So, how can my viewers follow you, especially if you have a big announcement that's coming out? so they can support you as well, to give back to the youth and young adults?
Yes. So unfortunately, I'm one of those people that I'm not on social media a lot. Sorry, guys, mental health. But I do have a website where I kind of focus on my knowledge of spirituality and therapy and kind of tell my story in hopes to inspire someone. It gives a few affirmations. So that website is themetamaiden.com, TheMetamaiden.com. The Metaphysical Maiden is the website. And you can go on there and check out a few of the posts that I have. I need to make some updates, but right now that is where you can find me.
Okay, okay. So can you leave my viewers with some inspiring words, especially first of all, how old are you, Tyra?
I will be 30 in July.
Okay, okay. No,
Mhm.
I'm just asking because you accomplished a lot. And
Oh,
and
thank
and,
you.
and you're still in your 20s, and you still thriving, and you still moving. But if you can
Hmm.
inspire my young folks, my older folks, with some encouraging words, I
Hmm.
appreciate.
I would say have the courage to prioritize yourself. That is like the form of self love that's never going to stop giving. And it's very important. You have to put yourself first in order to be of service to even yourself or others. So you first and then focus on everybody else. So, yeah.
So I do have one more question. So
Yes.
what made you create the website?
You know what? That was 2020 in the height of the pandemic, and therapy was it was therapy, and also I was on like a really like important physical spiritual journey for myself, and I would talk to my friends and they would be like, why don't you put that on something? I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do that. Like, I enjoy writing. Let me tell this story and hopefully help people. And no, it's no I don't know what website, it's no Yahoo or Google or anything, but I had people call me and are like, yeah, I read this and it really, touched me. And I was just going through this or that. So even just somebody telling me that it inspired them or it made them think or made them change something, that means a lot to me. I don't need a large platform to make an impact. I don't need a large audience. One person is enough for me and that makes me feel great. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay, okay. I wish I would. I'll make sure I get that information and put it down below of the interview so we can have that. And I would like to have it too, so I can go check it out as well. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You didn't mention that.
Sorry, sorry.
Well, we have my girlfriend Telfair. She just wrote a book. She's gonna be on here next week. She said, "Good evening, ladies," and I believe this is her as well. That's awesome at 30.
Oh,
So
thank
yes,
you.
yes, yes. But I thank you. Do you have any questions for me before we head on out of here?
No questions, Lou. Thank you so much for having me. Like, I really appreciate this.
Oh, always, always. Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your story. I hope her story helps someone else, especially youth, young adults out here. You don't have to go to a 4 year college. You just got to be dedicated. You got to be set your goals to do what you want to do and just carry them forth. But in the meantime, make sure you always take care of yourself. Self care is important no matter how old you are, at
Hmm.
what age, or what you're doing in life. Make sure you always have self care at the top, under
Yeah.
underneath whatever God you serve. As number two. Number one is whatever God you serve. Number two is self care, making
Yes.
sure you're good for someone else so you can service others, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to service others and not just ourselves. So, in
Hmm.
saying that, enjoy the evening. I heard it's really nice outside. The sun is going down, but enjoy the evening and stay safe out there. Stay on,
Thank
Tyra.
you.
Stay on. Have a good evening, everyone.